Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Two for One Special Podcast. My name Randall, and with me, as always, my boy LJ and the OG Dad himself. Man, y'all go ahead and say what up to these folks, man.
What's
What
up? What's
up?
up?
All right, everybody. Now, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode. So, on today's episode, we're gonna talk about who won the NCAA tournament. But before we talk about the winners, we need to talk about what happened between UConn and Duke. Cause Duke should have won that. I don't care what anybody say. Duke should have won that. But Dad, I'm gonna let you go first since you the OG. What's your thoughts between Duke and UConn, and what's your thoughts between UConn and Michigan, all that stuff?
So the Duke,
Cause I wanna point one thing up before you say something. Cause LJ got on a jacket, the Michigan jacket. I just wanna point that out. But go ahead.
um, the Duke and UConn game. You know what? Like it was one of those things you could kind of see coming, but like it was still shocking to see it when it happened when he hit that three. Um, can't remember which. I don't want to say the wrong boozer, but
Yeah.
he definitely should have held on to the ball because they were going to foul him. But like I said, like I can't expect like some of these players to make NBA decisions while they're college players, especially while they're freshmen. So like he was in his mind, like, oh, if I just get this pass off, I save more time off the clock. When really all he had to do was make a free throw.
Right.
All he had to do was make one free throw, and that would have sealed the game. But it is what it is. He said to himself that he's going to be thinking about that for the rest of his life. So I mean, it happens. You know, it literally cost him a chance at the national title. So I
Yep.
mean, but it was a crazy way because like even when you hit the shots, there ain't no way you hit that shot. Like ain't no way because they've been bricking threes all game long.
All game.
Like all game long they've been bricking threes. Also, now you want to hit one? I mean, get out my face, dude.
They hit it when it needed the most. They hit one.
That's the
Yeah,
only time you need to hit it. That's it.
But
I mean you're right.
LJ, what's your thoughts between UConn and Duke?
I mean, you could say that Duke should have won that game, but also Duke shouldn't have let them come back.
That is true.
Like they was how much? Like they was up like 20 by halftime, wasn't
It
that?
was double digits. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good amount. So I was like, when I thought the game was over, I said, "Oh, if UConn over with, is it going to be Duke versus Michigan? That's going to be a really good game." And then I started to see them come back, and I was like, "They're not going to let them come back. Hey, it's not possible." And then like, next thing I know, one of the Boozer twins losing the ball and this dude chucking up a three and winning the game. I said, I can't believe they let them come back. And I mean, you have to learn how to keep a lead when you in a lead like that in a super important game. You know, so I, it kind of just hard for me to be like they should have won that game when you let them come back in it. Somewhere along the line, you lack discipline. I don't know where it was, and they did start to hit some shots, not threes, but they did, start to pick apart the defense a bit. But I don't know, adjustments. You should have seen something. I don't know. I just feel like when you have such a lead like that, you can't let it go. Now, if you would have told me there was like 5 points between each other at halftime, I would have been like, yeah, no, I can definitely see this happening, but not in that way.
All right. Like I said, Duke should have won it. Why they didn't hold the ball, that I would never know. Why he had to pass the ball, I would never know. Cause they was on. Here's the thing about it. Like Dad said, I don't know which booze it was, but the thing is though, he had two UConn players coming at him. They were literally about to foul him before he even threw the ball. Why he threw the ball, I don't know. Cause they literally gonna come over there, hold him, boom, free throws, two free throw, boom. You made one, you missed both. Either way you go, you would have won the game unless UConn had a timeout to advance it to that side of the court. But either way go, still, you would have got fouled. I would just say this. That just pretty much show you how professional is compared to the students. If it was the NBA, I don't whoever it was, they would have got chewed out. But like I said, that just shows you the skill gap between the NBA and the NCAA. In the NBA, that ain't gonna happen. In the NCAA, it happens, but sadly, it happened at the wrong time. It happened when you was in the Final Four, where that should never ever should have went through. But yeah, if he would have kept it for a little bit longer, he would have got fouled. More than likely, he probably would have made at least one of the two free throws because they both good for what I heard, and it could have won the game. So
I mean, he got scared. And
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
mean
pretty
he
much,
got scared.
pretty much, yeah.
Right, I'm right.
He
And before
panicked.
somebody be like, "Oh, he ain't scared." No,
Yeah.
he got scared because he saw two people come their way. He thought they were going to steal the ball. They just let go of a big lead that they had. I mean, it's a common situation to be in. He should have realized that. But as Dad said earlier, he's 18 years old,
Right.
maybe. I mean, it's not. It's a decision. You know, you not you like he said. He gonna remember that for the rest of his life.
Oh, you gonna remember
Right.
that? Yeah.
And so if he's as good as we believe he will be, he will never make that decision.
Same
decision
mistake.
ever again in his mistake. There we go. He will never make that same mistake again in his professional career.
We just gonna put it like this: it's a learning experience, but he's learning it. He learned it at the wrong time, the very wrong time. He should have learned that in the regular season, not during the Final Four. But like LJ said, he was scared. At the end of it, he panicked and he was scared. That's the only thing I can see. So that's our thoughts on Duke and UConn. Now, Dad, what's your thoughts between UConn and Michigan? Because everybody, even ESPN, had Michigan win. I ain't know Michigan was that good.
Yeah, Michigan was tough.
But what's your thoughts between them two?
I think Duke would have beat them. Anyway,
You said Duke would have beat them.
well, Duke and Michigan played in the regular season. And Duke beat them. But it was a close game. I thought it would have been a better game, but
Yeah.
UConn kept it close
Right.
towards the end. UConn has this funny way of not being funny and catching up at the end.
Right.
You know, to where like they almost caught up at the end of this game, but Michigan just Michigan was the overall like the top two team in the whole country all year, and it showed in that game. You know the way they closed it out, the way they was able to finish the game and stuff like that. They deserved the national title this year. So UConn kept it close, but that was Michigan's game to lose basically because they have far better talent. So, and they got great talent coming in next year too. So, Michigan gonna be up top for a while.
LJ, what's your thoughts?
Well, as you know, that's who I chose.
Yeah, we can
Last.
tell. We can tell.
You know, I chose them because I just knew Michigan was going to win it all. You know, it was plain as day. You know, anybody could have seen that happen. So, you know, I always knew it was going to be a thing. But no, yeah, the game was pretty good. I watched it, and it was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Because Michigan, throughout this whole entire tournament, has just been whooping everybody. Just BTA. Just do not care who you are, what your pedigree is. Don't care. You getting it. But the UConn boys really, excuse me, the UConn boys really like stood in there and took a lot of shots and was very close into. If they would have hit a couple more shots, I mean, it's kind of like the same game as Duke. They just couldn't hit those important shots. If they would have, I think we would be saying UConn would be the champion right now. But that didn't happen. Michigan defense held up, and we won. So
Gotcha. Well, I haven't really been keeping up with the tournament this year since I've been busy with work and whatnot. But like I said, a lot of people, I won't even say a lot of people, to be honest, everybody for what I seen, they was going off saying Michigan was going to win. Like I said, I didn't know Michigan was that good. So everywhere I look, ESPN, everybody who was talking, they had Michigan win. So like I said, I don't know what Michigan did, what kind of players they got, what the recruiter they did, but they was right. Michigan beat UConn. They the little bit that I did saw, I think it was like the fourth quarter. I only saw like 2-3 minutes of that, not fourth quarter, second quarter, and I saw like 2 or 3 minutes of that. And when I saw, it was like they was like in double digits, something like that. But all I know is, yeah, everybody did not believe in UConn. That's pretty much what I was trying to get at. So I did not know Michigan was that good this
so
this season.
it brought up an interesting conversation that people started to have at the end as it was getting closer to the finals. The conversation became, well, is this how basketball is now, where you just go find a bunch of good mercenaries to go play for your team for the year, win the championship, and then they either leave to go do it at another team, they may stay, or they go to the NBA. And a lot of people were saying that about Michigan. Now, it's kind of a weird conversation to have because that's not. I mean, it's true. These all the starting five, the people who started on this team came from different teams,
Yeah,
but they was kind of underlooked. Like I know one dude was from UAB. He was really good at UAB, but I think he got benched for some reason. Another dude came from Arizona, I believe, and they all came from all different parts of the country. They were recruited elsewhere, but for some reason they either got benched or there was another player ahead of them that was supposedly better, and they went, got it. So I don't see that as really being mercenaries. It was more of that coach, Michigan coach, saw that they could be better on his team. He got them and said, "Come play with me, for me," and that's what happened. So I don't see an issue with that. But also, that's what NIL is now. I mean,
true.
with the introduction of NIL, you're going to have these situations, and that's why also people are complaining about there wasn't really a Cinderella this year because all the Cinderellas who had those really good uh, players, all those really good players done left and moved on to these main teams because they did well in the tournament last year. The bigger schools said, "I want that guy," gets him, and now he's on like Michigan or Auburn or whatever. Which, again, sure that's a problem, but I mean, can you really fix that issue?
No,
The only way to fix it is to go back to not having NIL, and that's not going to happen now.
that's not. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. But they only saying that they only saying that because it's not their team. If it was their team, it'd be a completely different story.
That is true.
That's all that's happening. Now, NIL do play a huge role in a lot of these teams winning. We ain't gonna say that. They do play a role, but still, a lot of people are just pissed off. They're like, hey, the only reason why this team was like this because they had the NIL money to get the players, not because of the reputation of the school. So that's all. They just pissed off. It's not them. If it was their favorite school, they would not be saying a word. But since it's not their favorite school, or their favorite school don't have the type of NIL deals or the vouchers or the or people who's be donating and stuff like that to get players, then they're just gonna keep on talking. Like how NIL took over college football, and everybody talking about Alabama now. How Alabama, how they quote unquote saying that the dynasty is over though, but how everybody's saying quote unquote since the NIL deal, Alabama is no longer a powerhouse, and they saying how Alabama get exposed and all that stuff, yada yada. So that's all.
That term is relative in college sports because you make it to the playoff, you're a powerhouse. I'm sorry, you're a top 12 team out of 114 or something teams. You know,
But I mean, you could also make the debate of saying should they have been in the playoffs?
either way they got in. If you get in, you are a powerhouse. I'm sorry, you are an elite team. You're a top 12. Even if I always say if you're in the top 15, you're an elite team. You know,
I'm fine with the top 15. We see how some of these decisions about who they put into the playoffs have been suspect, in my opinion. So I don't know.
I'm about to say, has Michigan? Lately Michigan been known for football college, but has Michigan been known for a college basketball campus?
Yeah, the Fab Five.
literally changed the whole
Yeah, but you know
culture
that,
of basketball.
But that was like in the 1900s though, like 19.
He said that 19. You about to make that leave.
We all born in 19. You know, I'm born in 95. LJ born in 96.
Yeah.
So we was all born in 1900. But pretty much I was saying that was like that was a long time ago. Now
it was a long time ago, but like no, Jawan Howard, like a few years ago, had them playing. Michigan's been good for the past like at least 7-8 years.
Okay. But yeah, I remember Fab Five though. But yeah, well,
It's been 35 years, right? Yeah.
They was doing like a Fat Five cast. I watched that
well they just
because they used to not get along afterwards. Chris Webber was tripping. So,
yeah, I heard about that. They did like a little documentary. You want to say a couple years
I mean,
ago?
it was after that documentary is when they finally
Yeah.
decided to get back together or become okay.
But all I gotta say is I don't know what happened to Auburn.
We won the NRT.
Yeah, but still, we was number one for the past 2 seasons, and we went to the like I said, I don't know what happened this season. That's all. We
New
wasn't.
coach, and I
Yeah.
really didn't like the players. I'll be honest with you. I like Pettiford.
You said you
but
didn't like the players, or he didn't like the players.
I didn't like the
Oh,
players.
okay.
I like Pettiford, but the other ones, I wasn't. They didn't seem to have that grit like the other team had.
Yeah.
But also, we had a super old team. Is the other reason.
how do you have an old team in college?
I mean, you did. We had an old team.
I'm finna say, I mean, in college terms they were old, but in real life they ain't old.
They was old. I'm talking about last year's team. I think our average age for last year was 25. I think.
God, y'all.
Yeah.
That's old for college. Yeah, that is old for college. But we'll see though. I said Auburn just needed. We'll see. Alabama they did all right, but Auburn we'll see. Nah,
I feel like Alabama gonna get rid of their coach.
you know they famous for doing that, so I wouldn't blame them. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. They probably give him one more. They probably give him one more season. Cause when his contract or no?
I don't know basketball contract.
You don't know his contract. Me either. So they depend on how his contract is. They may break it. They may not break it. But either way it go, shoot, in college that's the norm. Like, hey, even though we signed you to a 5-year contract, you 3 years in, we still gonna cut you. We just gonna give you all the money. We don't care no more.
I mean, they make it back very quickly.
Now, keeping on topic with college basketball, Michael Malone is gonna be the next head coach for North Carolina. And for all the folks who listen out there who don't know who that is, he used to coach for the Denver Nuggets. He won a championship with them. And now he's going to be North Carolina head coach. How y'all feel about that?
It's a good landing spot for him. I mean, it's a premier job. I mean, they've been firing coaches like they haven't like been steady of a coach for the past like 5 years. I think this is the third coach in 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, but like, it's still North Carolina. Like the prestige of North Carolina hasn't went down because of that. They got to figure it out. Not everybody can be Duke and go from Coach K to another coach who brings in talent and you know Final Four appearances and stuff like that. But North Carolina will figure it out. The college basketball is much better when North Carolina is good. So, and Mike Malone's a good coach. I don't know about his recruiting, but he's a good coach. So,
How about you, Joe? What you thought?
I wanted to know what happened because I'm sure the reason why this coach got fired is because they got bounced out in the first round, right?
Talking about Denver?
First,
No,
Nuggets.
North
I mean,
Carolina.
the Nuggets, the North Carolina.
Their season was not all that great the whole time. They made it into the tournament, but them getting bounced was like the final straw. The first round was like, okay, you got to go.
Right. So that's the real reason why he got fired. Duke can't get not Duke. Well, Duke also, but North Carolina is one of those schools where they aren't supposed to get bounced out until about maybe Sweet 16 is that minimum of or maximum really of when you can get knocked out. You really ain't supposed to get knocked out until the Final Four, but that's the mind of North Carolina fans. If you get knocked out anywhere before the Final Four, it was a horrible season. The coach need to go, and you kind of see that's kind of what happened, right? So that I'm not too surprised, but I also don't like the fact that you should be leaving you should at least be giving your coaches like at least 2 to 3 years.
With the climate now, you need at least 2-3 years because before you say 4, with like having your like all your players come in and stuff like that, but like these one and dones change the landscape for that. So it's like, yeah, 2-3 years should be the thing right there.
Well, they got this coach, and then they got the I forgot who coached for the football. Bill, right?
They have a new coach now. Right?
Oh, they got a new coach?
Oh no, for North Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Michigan. Sorry.
Damn.
Yeah, it's still Bill Belichick.
Okay, so they got.
I'll be honest with you, if he have a bad season this year, I think he's gone.
Oh no, he most definitely gone. Cause they spent all that money and he haven't went plus 500 yet. Yeah, he gone.
He only had 1 year, but like no, that year was so bad that they're gonna take him out.
Sure. Like how these
Put him at the
colleges
pasture.
moving right now, they don't care if they got you under contract for 5 years. They will cut you and be like, look, we'll pay you the extra 2 years. We just don't want you to coach no more. We don't care. Now where they get these monies from? How they get their money from? Probably donors or something like that. That's them. But yeah.
Well, the way that Bill Belichick had it in his contract, like if they buy him out, but I think it was like worded to where they buy him out because he goes back to the NFL. It's only gonna cost him like $1 million buyout or something like that. So like,
Either way, good. He good.
yeah, he's fine.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what that contract is. If he get cut, he fine. If he stay, he's still fine.
Yeah,
Like that with all these contracts.
Now,
for coaches, yeah.
speaking of contract, because I like how all these subjects are picking back off of each other. Dad sent the group chat this, and why this particular NFL team doing this, I don't know. And Dad, you can speak first, and LJ, you go after that. Dad sent the text saying, Bleacher Report reported that the Raiders are signing Kirk Cousins to a 5-year, $172 million deal with his first year fully guaranteed at $20 million. Now, before Dad said anything, the reason why we talk about this, the reason why we talking about this, pretty much, is the Raiders is probably gonna land Mendoza. I'm saying his name right?
Yeah, Fernando
Yeah,
Mendoza.
Mendoza.
Yeah.
They more than likely gonna get him. Now, the question is, why are you doing this to Kirk Cousins out of all the QBs when you finna get a fresh QB? I'm talking about fresh off of national championship, fresh off a Heisman Trophy winner, fresh knees, good arm and all. But you want to go and get this. I won't I don't want to say anything crazy, but you want to go ahead and get Kirk Cousins. I don't know. But Dad, express your feelings. Talk to the folks. What's going on?
Okay, first of all, I want to say whoever Kirk Cousins' agent is needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
That is true. 100%. That is most definitely true.
But when this thing was broken down even more, so the Raiders. So what this deal like in writing and stuff like that, it basically boils down to a 1 year, $15 million contract that he's really getting paid. The first year is fully guaranteed, but he's also getting money from the Falcons. So that's where like the numbers inflate a little bit.
Yeah.
But 1 year, $15 million for Kirk Cousins is still a lot because Kirk Cousins is like not that great a quarterback. But he could come in and be like either a bridge QB or just be a mentor to Fernando Mendoza because Kirk Cousins like he is a good bridge QB at this point, but I wouldn't pay that for a bridge QB. Like Mariota got $8 million, you know. So it's like it's crazy. Like that number to me was like wow. I was like I was doing the whole like meme. He can't keep getting away with this. Like ain't no way. Like who does Kirk Cousins have? Like who does he have like stuff on? Because he has something on somebody, to keep getting these contracts. So or his agent does. Who knows? But Fernando Mendoza, I don't expect him to start week 1. Maybe. But like he'll start like probably like week 5, before the bye and stuff like that. Maybe whatever they have a bye. That's probably when they're gonna get him in there. Because their offensive line's still not great. Their offensive line still has to gel. You want the offensive line gel before you put the rookie in there.
Andrew, what's your thoughts about all that?
I mean, it's like what Dad said. Like when I saw it, other than the contract part, I was like, oh, he's just there to teach Mendoza. And I mean, I feel like he'd be a great teacher. He's been in the league about 15, 20 years now. So he'll be a great teacher for Mendoza to get him up to speed. If he actually does it. We've talked about how some of these older quarterbacks don't really like to teach the rookies because they still think they have it, and they don't. Aaron Rodgers, I'm looking at you.
Which we don't know who he gonna go to. He still had not decided. So
there's only one team that's stupid enough to take him, and because they don't really have a choice.
So the Steelers.
Yes. So
I don't.
Steelers wanted him too.
But my thing is this though. His thing, and also you can go back to talk about the Raiders. My thing is this though. Rodgers is humiliating the Steelers. The reason why I say that is he had a 1 year deal. I don't know. I forgot how much he was getting paid. He was however much. He had a 1 year deal. More than likely, like LJ said, he gonna go back to the Steelers. They probably gonna give him another 1 year deal, maybe 2. I don't know. He probably gonna play one more year and call it quits. Here's the thing: if he signed back with the Steelers, I guarantee you the deal that he gonna sign is gonna be way more, or a little bit more than his first deal with the Steelers. So now the Steelers gonna pay him maybe a couple $100,000 more, maybe a mil more, who knows, just to get him, and then he gonna retire, and now they're gonna be out of QB. Because like LJ said, they probably predicting more than likely the Steelers got to get investigated because they probably gonna tank next year so they can get a QB coming up in the next NFL draft. I'm saying it right now. Watch.
And that's fine.
I've been saying that for a while. Like that's been my stance for a while now. Is that the reason that Tomlin's not there is because he didn't want to tank.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking was going on. They gonna overpay for Aaron Rodgers again. Aaron Rodgers gonna play him. get more money than his other contract that he had last year, then they're gonna tank. They're gonna tank, and then they're gonna try to pick up a good QB next season. Watch. Maybe whoever the Texas QB, I forgot the man, I forgot his name. Him. They may get him. Maybe. But my fault,
Okay.
LJ, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, that's fine, but if they pay Aaron Rodgers more than what they paid him this year, they're stupid. That's all I'm gonna say.
And I guarantee you that here's the thing. Besides that, you can help me out. LJ too, if you be keeping up today with the NFL. I haven't though. But here's the thing. As of right now in the NFL, besides the Steelers, who needs a QB?
I feel like there's a lot of things you need a QB.
Um,
The Panthers?
the Raiders, Panthers. No, Bryce Young's pretty.
Yeah, I was saying Panthers gonna stick with Bryce since they took it to the
Oh.
playoffs. Yeah, they gonna stick with him.
Not the Panthers. The Cardinals. That's what I meant.
Cardinals, yeah.
I meant the
Yeah.
other short quarterback.
Who did the Cardinals sign? Did they sign anybody?
I don't even know they really even did get somebody to replace Kyler Murray.
That's a good question. I'm gonna look it up right now.
I feel like they didn't though.
Because my
Oh, no.
thing
No,
is
they're
this.
started. They got Jacoby Brissett, and that's what they're running with.
Because my thing is this.
Mm, okay.
Aaron Rodgers, that's probably the only team Aaron Rodgers gonna sign with is the Steelers. Unless whoever going, because I highly doubt the Steelers gonna get it. They ain't gonna beat the Cardinals in the draft pick. The Cardinals gonna probably get a pick first before the Steelers. But either way it go, like I said, they ain't no really good QB in this coming up draft. So you can't draft the QB
Mm-hmm.
this draft season. Now, like I said, all the good QBs next season. So that's my thing. Like I said, the NFL gonna need to investigate because I guarantee you the Steelers gonna tank just so they can get a good QB next year, and they gonna overpay for Aaron Rodgers again. And Aaron Rodgers gonna get a 1-year deal, and this deal gonna be bigger than his last deal, and that's how he gonna play the Steelers. And whoever the Steelers GM, whoever in the office need to be fired. Because they should have seen this coming a mile away. Like, hey, if we get Aaron Rodgers, how are we going to look in the next 5 years? Like, how all these professionals be asking us in interviews and stuff, where do you see yourself in 5 years? That's what the front office should have said when they were talking about all this. Hey, we finna get Aaron Rodgers. Okay, if we get Aaron Rodgers, where do we see ourselves in the next 5 years? And look where they at now. They don't got no good QB. And they may not get a good QB in a long time, depending on how this season coming up. Because they got this little thing now where you can't even quote unquote tank yourself. If you tank yourself, you're gonna get fined. So, like I said, I don't know. The Steelers in a hard predicament right now. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah. Like LJ said, that's the Aaron Rodgers curse.
Pretty much.
Like you said, LJ said, that's the Aaron Rodgers curse. Oh man. So
Never when they got him.
so more than likely he gonna go to the Steelers. I'd be surprised if he take a pay cut, because that's the only reason why he bagged out and then signed another deal, because he's trying to get more money than what the Steelers gave him this season. So he ain't finna take a pay cut. He gonna ask for some more money. Steelers probably gonna give him the money, and more than likely they may tank just so they get a first round pick to get a QB that's coming up. If they do, we'll have this conversation next year and see how they gonna look.
If we're having this conversation next year, then I'm hoping we're having the conversation of the whole Steelers staff that's been fired, or the front office.
I'm pretty sure if depending on how this season goes and whoever they get for QB, somebody gonna get fired. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, there's no reason for us to have this conversation this year. Aaron Rodgers, if he does come back, should be retired.
Should be. So we may never know. And then on top of that too, let's say he do retire this season. Steelers still don't have no QB because they didn't pick one up when these QB was getting all these QBs was getting traded a couple months ago. They ain't picked nobody up. So now you missed out on getting a decent QB.
I thought Kyler was going there personally.
You thought he was?
Steelers?
I thought Kyler was going to go there.
Honestly, they probably should. If this was always going to be their plan, they should have not let Justin Fields go.
They shouldn't have let him go. And to be honest with you, they really shouldn't have let Russell go. For real, he wasn't that bad. He wasn't that bad. He wasn't that bad.
Was he better than Aaron Rodgers? Sure, I give you that. No, actually, maybe Aaron Rodgers was better.
Well,
I don't know.
He did took
was
him. I'm about to say he
washed.
did took him to the first round. So
Uh,
just a little. He was a little bit though. I don't know. Either way, go. I agree with you. They shouldn't let go. What you call it? They should have had him stay there.
yes,
But
I think actually, if you should have kept him, I really do think he could have developed under Tomlin.
yeah,
Tomlin just needed to get a quarterback coach to bring back his confidence, because his confidence has been shot after being at Chicago and not well. Well, now he's on the Jets, but
right. We'll see though. But I agree with you though. Aaron Rodgers screwed up. I don't care what anybody say. Aaron Rodgers screwed up the Steelers organization because they in a hard predicament right now. And what they gonna do, we just gotta wait and see come fall. But speaking of trades, me and LJ was correct. I think Dad said this too. Either way go, me and LJ was correct. So it finally, I don't know why they waited so long to make this public, but it's been public that the Bucks rejected a deal the morning of the NBA trade deadline. And if y'all don't know, it was Miami was gonna get Giannis, while Milwaukee will get Hero. I don't know who K Ware is, and some draft picks, some pick swaps, and some other players. So LJ, how you feel about this? How you feel about us being right that they was going to trade for Giannis, but it fell through. How you feel about that?
I feel like we knew they was trying to do something. We just didn't know exactly what they was trying to do. That was the issue. I like that they tried to get Giannis, sure, but I'm on the side of I knew that wasn't going to happen. And I'll be honest with you, I'm looking at that and I'm like, who makes that deal? Like, really? Like, if you're the Bucks, do you really want those players?
No.
No, you don't want those players unless those picks are like 5 first rounders. You don't take that deal.
Exactly. So it really wasn't it wasn't good for the Bucks, and you're not giving away the man who won you a championship for that amount of, I don't want to say crap because they're not bad, but
for the NBA terms they are compared to Giannis.
Right. So, like, no, that was never a starter. The only way I think you would have to give, if you wanted Giannis, you would have to give a Bam.
Like I said in the group chat, we don't need a big man. We need a true scorer. And we quote unquote thought they were gonna be Tyler Hero, because he was doing that in the bubble. And then on top of that, we had Jimmy Butler with him. Now I don't know what the heck going on with Hero. he had that little 1 minute of fame. Then next thing I don't know, I don't know. But even though Bam is not on the level of Giannis in my opinion, but Bam is similar to Giannis. So we didn't need Giannis because we got Bam. Bam could be a little bit more, a little bit better, can train to be Giannis level, but it's like if the Lakers draft another Shaq. Like you don't need Shaq because you already got a Shaq. Why we need Giannis if we got Bam? Because Bam and Giannis pretty much kind of like the same thing. Giannis is a little bit taller and probably do a little bit more stuff on the court than Bam, but in reality they kind of similar to each other. So we don't need Bam.
Are you saying that as in if they still had Shaq, or are you saying that they have a Shaq now?
Oh no, I was just saying.
Oh, okay. I was confused. I was like, who in the world are the Lakers is Shaq?
No,
because they need him.
no. I was just saying back in the day, if
gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I got confused there.
Oh no. I was just saying like, hey, if you got Shaq and Kobe, but you wanted another Shaq in his prime, like no, they don't need another Shaq. They need probably like a point guard or something. But that's what I was trying to say. We don't need another big man. We need a small guy who can give assists, shoot, make scores, and be a playmaker. We don't need another big man. That's where I'm getting at. Because our big man is Bam. We good with Bam. Bam could be up and down here and there, but we got a decent big man. We just need a playmaker who can go out there and just shoot the ball, go in, and who can average maybe 20 points, 23 points a game, maybe get like 5, 6, or 5, like between 3 to 5 assists a game, something like that. That's who we need. We don't need another big man. But Ed, what's your thoughts about that trade that was going on?
I mean, like everybody offers something similar to that. Golden State offers something big too. They offer like four first rounders. I know that much. And they try to throw in Moody in there also. But yeah, it was what happened is that the Bucks, they got scared about the reception they would get if they traded him for ticket sales and everything like that. So there's like, we got to keep him around at least for a little bit. For the rest of the season, we'll trade him in the off season. So I think Giannis is gone this off season.
Yes, I don't know where he's going, but he's gone. He is.
I mean, it's like, he been talking about getting traded, haven't
he? Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I think he started talking about getting traded 2 seasons ago now.
I wouldn't be surprised if he go to Golden State because they need a big man.
Golden State is like in the middle of everything. Like
it's because
everybody wants to go to Golden State next year to play, try it. And Golden State, to their credit, they're trying to get Steph Curry one more ring.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, the people that he got injured. The people
Steph Curry was injured for most of the season anyway.
Yeah, he came back, almost dropped 30. No, I think he did drop 30.
29.
Okay, never mind. But yeah, but I won't be surprised if he go to Golden State because they need a big man. They got 2 good players, whatever. Jimmy Butler come back from his injury, and then you got Steph, and then Draymond maybe playing 1 more year, maybe 2. But you got Draymond, who's good defensively. We can't take that from him. So the only thing you really need now, you just need a big. And Giannis could be the perfect fit. He can shoot, he can get rebounds, he can block, and he can pass the ball. So I wouldn't be surprised if Golden State try to pursue him heavy. And
I heard Golden State's going after anywhere from LeBron to Kawhi next season.
I don't think LeBron. Here's why I say that. I don't think LeBron is going anywhere. The reason why I say that is he did I won't say an interview, but he did a YouTube video with some guys on a golf course, and how he was talking about Milwaukee and Memphis. How he said he know for sure he ain't finna play in Memphis, and they had this whole thing going. Yeah, but anyways, I ain't saw all of it. I saw like a good chunk of it. I still got like maybe 20, 15 minutes ago of that video, but they was talking about, some, and they were talking about Bryce. and he pretty much confirmed and said, "Hey, I really ain't gonna retire until Bryce get in the league. Once Bryce get in the league, then I'm for sure gonna retire." He ain't say that, but that's pretty much what he summarized. He said, "Yeah, I'm waiting for Bryce to get in the league," and he said something else. I forgot. But yeah, he ain't going nowhere. He waiting for Bryce. Since Bryce got red shirt this year, we know for sure he's gonna be playing next year, and more than likely he gonna get drafted. He gonna go in the draft in Arizona. So yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
Right.
He gonna play the Lakers, and he gonna get Bryce in the Lakers, and he gonna play with his two sons, and he gonna retire.
Do you really think the Lakers would draft another one of his sons?
You know they are.
But it's not his team no more. It's Luka's team.
It's Luka's team.
Yeah, but still, I wouldn't put it past him. Here's the thing. I wouldn't put it past him. Yeah, it's Luka team, but I wouldn't put it past him. Here's what's gonna happen. Bryce gonna play next year. Whether he gonna be good or not, I don't know, but he gonna play next year. He gonna enter the draft. If if LeBron, depending on how the Lakers is, more than likely the Lakers gonna get Bryce just so they can keep LeBron. Once the Lakers announce they gonna get Bryce, that's when LeBron gonna be like, "Hey, this is my last dance. This is my last go around. I'm retired." Tickets finna skyrocket to the point where it's like inflation with the Lakers. Every team gonna everything gonna sell out, because we seen it when he tweeted that tweet where everybody thought he gonna retire and he was doing some partnership with Pepsi, something I don't know. But we saw it.
No, that was that was Crown. Remember?
Oh yeah, Crown. We see how the tickets skyrocketed, his jersey skyrocketed. The Lakers don't care. The Lakers gonna be like, "Hey, we can get Bryce here." Like, hey, the only way we get Bryce here is if we get X amount of money from you, so we can build around Luka once you leave. And that's literally what they're gonna do. They're gonna probably, because around that time, Bryce's contract gonna be his rookie contract gonna be up. They probably gonna give Bryce a weak, lazy contract, maybe 2 year, 3 year. I highly doubt it's gonna be 3 year, but they probably gonna give a 2 year deal. Bryce contract gonna be up, and all that money that they gonna get from LeBron retiring, they gonna find some players to build around Luka to replace, and they may replace Bryce, and they may and Bronny.
I just find that hard to believe, man, because, and I'm not, I still want to believe in Bronny, and I really do want to think he can be a all-star at least, but he just don't look great. He looks better than he did last year, to me at least.
We're just gonna put it like this. Everybody know Bryce, it's Bronny. Bronny should have stayed in college to be honest with you, the whole 4 years. If you ask me, he should have stayed there the whole 4 years, because he didn't show enough to be like, oh yeah, his freshman year, he good. He could go ahead and go. He didn't show that. He should have stayed the whole 4 years so he could develop and then get drafted. And I'm pretty sure that Bryce might do that, because he don't look like the type of person who's ready to get in the league, like how Bronny was. Bronny was ready to get in the league. Bryce is like, hey, I'm just here. I love playing basketball, but I can care less if I get in the NBA. I'm just here. Bryce, that's what Bryce is to me. Bryce is like the laid back, I'm just gonna take my time. I know I'm gonna go to the league no matter what. I'm just gonna take my time. On the other hand, Bronny came off to me like, hey, I'm trying to get in the league as soon as possible so I can play with my dad. So, but like I said, it's the Lakers. LeBron got leverage because he can say, hey, instead of selling tickets for $500, you get Bryce. They're gonna increase the price even more because I'm playing with both my sons. On top of that, I can announce my retirement. Gonna triple, if not quadruple, the price and tags on top of my merch. Not to mention on top of both my son merch at the same time gonna sell out. So he got leverage. So I guarantee you Bryce gonna get drafted into the Lakers if he decide to go to the draft next year. LeBron gonna announce his retirement, and all that money that LeBron gonna make the Lakers, he gonna be like, hey, here, boom. go ahead and get some players to build around Luca, Austin Reeves, and all of them. And then they gonna give Bryson Bronny maybe a 1 year, 2 year contract, and then boom, they gonna disperse him somewhere else.
I
Why?
don't know, man, because I just feel like because wasn't there rumors saying that LeBron was on the outs with Jenny Buss? The
That was a stupid rumor.
that was okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was like it was one of those things that it was a slow season. They needed something to talk about.
Okay, so I won't bring that up. But I mean, I look, I love LeBron just as much as anybody else does. But like you can't put that much money into him. You can't just keep getting his sons to play for you when they aren't great. You're trying to win a championship, or at least that's what I'm thinking you're trying.
And here's where I think LJ froze. Here's where I think where Luca can't. Yeah, LJ did froze. Well, whenever he get back, hopefully he can hear me. But here's what to pick it back what LJ was saying. Here's why they got Luca. It's because they knew LeBron was old. That's why they
Yeah.
got Luca to be like, look, we already know LeBron old. We need to build around. We need somebody to build around. I don't know who came up with that deal to get Anthony Davis and get Luca. I don't know how they pull that off, but the Lakers won that deal, so we already know that. But the answer out for LJ whenever he come back, that's why. It's because they got Luca, and now they gonna use all the money that LeBron is making. Cause I'm pretty sure LeBron is in that front office like, hey, I know my time is up. I probably got one more year in me, maybe two.
Right.
All the money that I'm bringing in, you guys please get that to Luca, cause him and Luca are close. And say, hey, use this money so you can build around Luca and buy some guys and get some players for Luca when I'm gone, so y'all can win a championship. If we don't win one while I'm here, that's what I see. Yeah, LJ did froze. That's what I see.
Well, I can tell you one. When they do the contract negotiations next season, LeBron's not still. It's not going to be free still. So
Oh no, but it came. I don't know how true this is, but they said that hey, if we gonna sign LeBron, we ain't gonna give him like X amount of millions. They said we're gonna cut his money in half since he's coming back and he's old. I don't know how true that is, so don't quote me on that. But they saying like, hey, the front office like, hey, LeBron, if we gonna continue to have you on the Lakers and you gonna continue getting the deals, we gonna cut some of your money. So you ain't gonna get a $50 million deal, or you ain't gonna get paid $50 million a year. The most you probably gonna get is 20-something million.
that's where he go anywhere he goes. So
Yeah. So LJ look like LJ trying to come back, but we gonna cut it right here though. But Dad, go ahead and talk to these folks. What's your closing remark to these folks?
and, appreciate you guys who come in and listen and watch our podcast. I really appreciate it. I also want to point out that Tiger, stay in rehab, please. Just stay there.
What blows my mind about that whole thing is he literally do not want to hire a driver.
No.
That was the most funniest thing I heard. People were like, he don't want to hire a driver, and he got billions, or he got $8 billion, but he refused to get a chauffeur. Why he refused to get a chauffeur? That I don't know. If I making that much money, and I don't drink, and when I do drink, it's at family reunions, so I drink probably maybe once or twice a year. But when I do, if I'm gonna drink heavy, and I got that much money, I'ma hire a driver. Like I just don't care. Especially if I know I'm finna get that messed up. Like yeah, I'm finna just give me a driver for a day. They ain't gonna cost you by maybe a couple thousand. Like I said, you should have hundreds of millions in your account. So they hire you a chauffeur for a day for like a couple thousand, maybe 10,000, depending on who you get. You can get flat wasted drunk however much you want. Boom, you good to go. But that's just me. But yeah, I'm with you on that day. I don't know what Tyler got going on. I mean Tyler. I said Tyler. Tiger. But my closing remarks, since LJ is in a black hole somewhere. My closing remarks is Duke should have beat UConn, but that's neither here nor there. That just shows you who's experienced, who's not experienced. That right there. I'm pretty sure that play is going to be shown to a lot of basketball players when they have their tryouts and when they do training. That video going to be shown a lot. So yeah, but Duke should have won, or Duke should have beat UConn. Miami. I hate to say this, but Pat Riley need to go. Cause that trade we should have got Giannis. We should have got Giannis. We should have got Damian Lillard. But I don't know what's going on. But I got a feeling something going on with Pat Riley. And if you ask me, I think Pat Riley needs to go. Cause we could have had Jimmy Butler, Damian Leonard, and now we could have had Giannis. So we could have had a mini big three in Miami. But I got a feeling that Pat played a little part in not getting Damian and not getting Giannis. Or offering Milwaukee this bogus deal. So, yeah. But everybody out there, since LJ in the black hole somewhere, he can't get his closing remarks. But other than that, though, my name is Randall, and with me as always, my boy LJ, and the OG dad himself. And together we go by the name of the 2 for 1 Special Podcast. Hopefully, guys enjoyed this week's episode, and we will catch y'all on the next one. Because we got to go rescue LJ. Peace out.
Peace.